Good Friday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, we made it to the end of another week. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Friday. We have the truth of the day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich in today's Entertainment Spotlight. You've been part of my conversation with chef and cookbook author Siri, Daly. Enjoy today's program. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Friday headlines. In national news, Supreme Court halts COVID-19 vaccine rule for U.S. businesses. The Supreme Court has stopped the Biden administration from enforcing a requirement that employees at large businesses be vaccinated against COVID-19 or undergo weekly testing and wear a mask on the job. At the same time, the court is allowing the administration to proceed with a vaccine mandate for most healthcare workers in the U.S. The court's order on Thursday, during a spike in coronavirus cases, was a mixed bag for the administration's efforts to boost the vaccination rate among Americans. The court's conservative majority concluded the administration overstepped its authority by seeking to impose the Occupational Safety and Health Administration's vaccine or test rule on U.S. businesses with at least 100 employees. OSHA has never before imposed such a mandate, nor has Congress. Indeed, although Congress has enacted significant legislation addressing the COVID-19 pandemic, it has declined to enact any measure similar to what OSHA has promulgated here, the conservatives wrote in an unsigned opinion. In dissent, the court's three liberals argue that it was a court that was overreaching by substituting its judgment for that of health experts. Acting outside of its competence and without legal basis, the court displaces the judgments of the government officials given the responsibility to respond to workplace health emergencies. When crafting the OSHA rule, White House officials also anticipated legal challenges, and privately some harbored doubts that it could withstand them. The administration nonetheless still views the rule as a success at already driving millions of people to get vaccinated and for private businesses to implement their own requirements that are unaffected by the legal challenge. Both rules have been challenged by Republican-led states. In addition, business groups attack the OSHA emergency regulation as too expensive and likely to cause workers to leave their jobs at a time when finding new employees already is difficult. The vaccine mandate that the court will allow to be enforced nationwide scraped by on a 5-4 vote, with Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Brett Kavanaugh joining the liberals to form a majority. The mandate covers virtually all healthcare workers in the country, applying to providers that receive federal Medicare or Medicaid funding. It potentially affects 76,000 employees as well as home healthcare providers. The rule has medical and religious exemptions. The challenges posed by a global pandemic do not allow a federal agency to exercise power that Congress has not conferred upon it. At the same time, such unprecedented circumstances provide no grounds for limiting the exercise of authorities the agency has long been recognized to have, the court wrote in an unassigned opinion, saying the latter principle governs in the healthcare cases. In more national news, Biden to double free COVID tests at N95s to fight Omicron. President Joe Biden announced on Thursday that the government will double to 1 billion the rapid at-home COVID-19 tests to be distributed free to Americans, along with the most protective N95 mask, as he highlighted his efforts to surge resources to help the country weather the spike in coronavirus cases. Biden acknowledged that, "I know we're all frustrated as we enter this new year as virus cases reach new heights," but he insisted that it remains a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Both vaccinated and unvaccinated people test positive for the virus, but Biden noted medical figures showing that people are far less likely to suffer serious illness and death if they've received a shot. In more national news, Biden all but concedes defeat on voting and election bills. All but acknowledging defeat, President Joe Biden said Thursday he's not sure his elections and voting rights legislation can pass Congress this year. He spoke at the Capitol after a key fellow Democrat, Senator Sinema of Arizona, dramatically announced her refusal to go along with changing Senate rules to muscle past a Republican filibuster blockade. In business news, tech stocks lead Wall Street lower again. Nasdaq falls 2.5%. Tech stocks led another decline on Wall Street Thursday, leaving the Nasdaq Composite down 2.5%. Microsoft and other big tech companies had some of the biggest losses. The S&P 500 fell 1.4%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average gave back 0.5%. Industrial stocks did relatively well. And finally, in entertainment news, Lionel Richie to receive Gershwin Prize for pop music. Lionel Richie will be honored all night long for his musical achievements. The Library of Congress said Thursday that Richie will receive the National Library's Gershwin Prize for Popular Song. He will be bestowed the prize in an all-star tribute in Washington, D.C. on March the 9th. PBS stations will broadcast a concert on May 17th. This is truly an honor of a lifetime, and I am so grateful to be receiving the Gershwin Prize for Popular Song, Richie said in a statement. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's on time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, take it away.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Go with the flow of life. Release your attachment to the outcome of any stressful situation. Allow yourself to focus on the now moment as you go with the flow of life. Anxiety can cause you to tense up and resist the flow of life. You can relax as you inhale and exhale, utilizing deep breathing techniques. This will help you learn how to use your energy as you allow the universe and God to work through you. Nervous energy can be the result of stress and work obligations. You can choose to focus on the task at hand rather than the outcome. Release your anxious hold and stop fighting against the current of life. Today, release your anxious hold on anything. Stop fighting against the current and have more energy for today. As you always, enjoy the day.
We are part of my conversation coming up with chef and cookbook author Siri Daly in today's Entertainment Spotlight. Stay with us. You're listening to Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Author and chef Siri Daly joined me recently on Conversations Live, the radio show, to share some great tips for the entire family. Here's a bit of our conversation.
What are your tips for how to continue to stay connected with kids now that they're back in school?
We try to prioritize family dinners at least a few times a week. That way, you can make sure you have that time of day where you can sit down and be together. I get my kids involved in setting the table. I'll have them make, little place settings and choose where everyone sits. And when we do sit down, we really, engage in that time and we're present. A way to do that is to play games during dinner. We like to play an old-fashioned game of telephone. That's always a big hit. Just to really make sure that, you're really present for that amount of time.
How do you combat picky eaters in the family?
Well, I definitely have some picky eaters. I just keep trying. I know that sounds cliche, but if you try an ingredient in multiple ways, because they might not like it one day, but maybe they'll like it the next. Like my daughter, for instance, will only eat an apple dipped in peanut butter. So you just have to keep trying and remember that their palates are evolving. One day they'll get there. My 12-year-old gives me hope, for instance, for my toddler right now. So
one of the things that I heard that you're able to make that people enjoy is your fruit punch smoothie bowl. So tell us how to be able to make this and how we can get kids involved in it.
Yes, it's very simple. It's 4 ingredients, 4 cups of frozen berries, 1 banana, either fresh or frozen, 1 cup of Greek yogurt, and then 1 cup of Juicy Juice fruit punch. And that is my daughter's favorite flavor, the picky one, I should say. So you're going to pour that all into a bowl, blend it until smooth. Pour it into a blender, blend it until smooth, then pour it into a bowl, and let your kids top it with whatever they want. And that really helps them get involved, and they're going to want to eat it more if they're, creating their own bowls.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversation Daily News. We'll be up to you guys on Monday with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host Cyrus Webb saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversation Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.